Hi, I'm Laila.
And I'm Marlow. For this milestone, we built a distributed storage service manager that supports five commands: register user, register disk, configure DSS, deregister user, and deregister disk. We wrote the core logic in manager.py plus client stubs user.py and disk.py. And then for testing, we wrote some three small helpers that are configure, deregister user, and deregister disk Python files. Now, as we go into node 0, I'm going to run a command and And then basically this will run the manager into UDP port 5000, and then it'll check the length. If it's a valid length, it'll bind the UDP socket and then show that every message received is decoded, split into parts, and passed to dispatch. Each command will map to a specific handler.
Now I'll be explaining the register users part of the project. In the user.py, we built the message register user and it contains four different parameters: name, IP, import, and seaport. It's sent over UDP and then we wait for one reply with a timeout. On the manager side, we have handle register user, which enforces that the length of the part must equal to 5, which is our argument, else it'll give out an invalid arity. The username must be alphabetical and it should be less than or equal to 15 characters. The IP must match our decimal dotted format. Import and seaport must parse as integers in the range 1 to 65,000. The username must not already exist. Both ports must not be in the use ports. If all of these conditions pass, the manager inserts the global user's dict and reserves the ports in the use ports. Then if everything goes successfully, it'll reply with a message saying that it has been successful.
And now when we move into the register disks part, basically the disk.python file is going to work the same way. It'll send the register disk with a name, an IP, and two ports. And then in the handle register disk, it'll check the same things as the user registration. And after doing that, if it's valid, the disk will go into the disks dictionary, and each call should return success.
Okay, now we'll be discussing configuring the DSS. This sends configure DSS 31024 on the manager side. We are checking the length of the parts, making sure they're equal to 4. The DSS name must match the regex, which is the thing that I already described before. We're gonna parse the n variable and unit as integers, and the n must be bigger than or equal to 3. It requires we need to make sure that our stripping unit has to be at least 128 bytes and at most 1 megabyte, and it must be a power of 2. So for example, like 128, 256, 512, 1024, and so on. In our code, we check this with a small bit trick. If the numbers are only 1 in its binary form, then it'll be a binary of 2. Sorry, power of 2.
All right. And then now to show the failure logic, we're going to show that if two disks are registered, then a failure message will display and show that there are insufficient number of disks. So as you can see, it's already configured to that and it failed.
Now I'm gonna demonstrate the deregistering part. The handle deregister user ensures that the arity is to and the user exists. It removes them from users, frees both their ports from the use ports, and replies with success once they have been successfully deregistered. A repeat call would be given to make sure that and validate that it was removed.
And then the same thing is going to be for the disk when we deregister the disks. As you can see, we have success there, success there, and success there.
So this way we have demonstrated all the 5 commands that we need. The manager enforces validations with range checks and keeping up with the states in the dictionaries, and uses set to prevent port reuse, and it gives error messages indicating exactly where the user have went wrong.
Yeah, and then to add on to that, our helper files will let us quickly trigger commands and display results. And in a real system, this would be useful for clients interacting with the DSS manager. And it also fulfills our milestones requirements for functionality and shows our understanding of all the code.
Thank you.